And in your sports at this hour, the 2021 ICC Men's T20 World Cup final gets underway in a short while from now, with both New Zealand and Australia bidding for a first time in the sport's shortest format. Now, the news from the Dubai International Cricket Stadium is that Australia have won the toss and opted to bowl fast. They are the unchanged, while New Zealand have been forced to bring in Team Seifert for the injured Devon Conway. One of the cricket's most respected voices and two-time ODI World Cup winning coach John Buchanan sets up the game for us.
You know, it's an obvious, if you look at what's happening in this tournament, if your luck isn't in as captain, you could lose the toss and then it's already sort of getting away from you. And that's what we've seen in this tournament in Dubai. You do feel for the teams defending, especially with the wickets completely sort of quickening up. It comes on much more better in the second half.
Yes, well, again, you talk about statistics, and the numbers really point very heavily to the team that is chasing is the likely winning team. You know, not only in the tournament, but particularly in Dubai, where the game is tonight. So it does seem you win the toss, you definitely then exert the other team, and whatever total they reach, you do believe that you've got an opportunity to chase that down. We've just seen that through both semi-finals. It did seem that both Australia and New Zealand were out of the game, somewhere in about the 15th or 16th over of each match. But somehow, both teams, just through really strong batting and a knowledge of what they needed to do in those last 4 or 5 overs, were able to somehow sculpture a victory. And it does seem that sides really do these days enjoy knowing what the target is and then pacing themselves to get that victory.
You also don't want to change a winning combination, but the Kiwis sort of been forced to do that due to Devon Conway's freak injury. Now, Team Seifert comes in, but what I want to ask you is, where does he bat in your book? Because his usual position at the top of the order is taken over by Daryl Mitchell. And do you tinker with that now, especially for this game?
Yes, look, I think it's a really big loss for New Zealand. As we said, it's one of the reasons why I think they've just got their nose in front, because Conway has been a key player to them through the tournament. He is a player that's quite adaptable and has been able to not only structure some very good innings for himself, but his ability to build partnerships beyond the likes of the Williamsons and the Guptills and the Mitchells and into that middle to lower order with Anisham or a Santner. That's been crucial to New Zealand's winning games. Now, he's not there. And again, as you say, you really, at this point in the tournament, you'd love to be able to go in with the side that you really want to play, and unfortunately he's not going to be there. So Seifert will come in. Seifert's a good little batsman. I think probably better batsman than he is a keeper. So from the perspective of skills, I'm not sure that they're going to miss too much. However, from the perspective of playing and being in the tournament, Seifert hasn't really been there. And so that's going to place some enormous pressure on him. And I see him possibly as a floater in their order. It just depends on where the game moves.
Usually we end this with a prediction. I'm not going to ask you to do a prediction. I'll perhaps ask you, rephrase it, and ask you to tell us where do you think this game is going to be won?
I think, like all games, it's really the power play overs that set a game up. Having said that, obviously Pakistan the other night, none for 47 in their 6, gave themselves a really good platform to build the total. But I still see that whoever can really dominate that power play, whether it be by runs, whether it be by taking wickets, or whether it be by actually restricting the total of a batting side, I just see that's your launch pad. That's the place where you do set your innings up to either set a big total or chase one down. And possibly, if Australia, or whoever bats first, can get to the 50-odd mark with 1 down, possibly 2 down, then they're in with a good show of setting a big total. So that to me is where it's won or lost.